Okay, so tell me why you were against this bill.
Well, this bill is bad in every respect, but I approach a lot of my decisions here as a pediatrician. I was a community pediatrician for 20 years before coming here, and I will tell you that almost half of children in this country rely on Medicaid, which in our state of Washington is called Apple Health. So I would say to people listening, if you don't know what Medicaid is, go look at your insurance card, and if it says Apple Health, you're on Medicaid.
What kind of conversations have you been having, if any, with your Republican colleagues about Medicaid specifically and just about the bill itself?
So I know from private conversations that my Republican colleagues know this bill is bad. And some of them think it's bad, and it is, because it explodes the debt and is highly irresponsible. And they're right. And others think it's bad because it is kicking their constituents off of their health care at a time when healthcare costs are rising and costs across the board are rising. And we all know we benefit from a healthier community. So they all know it's wrong, but they are under the sway of this president. And that has been the case through the first term and so far during this term as well.
Okay, in these private conversations, you mentioned fiscal responsibility. This is obviously something that Republicans talk about meeting, something that they, thrive on essentially in terms of increasing the national debt, which this bill will do according to the CPO. Do you think that they can call themselves fiscal hawks or fiscally responsible members of Congress after this potentially does pass?
Look, this is nothing new. They moan and groan about the national debt, which, by the way, it is appropriate to be worried about the national debt. It's a national security issue. But they moan and groan about it when they're not in control, and they can blame it on Democrats. And then they turn around and explode the debt for their priorities, which in this case is giving a gigantic tax break to billionaires who don't need it. They are taking money away, whether it is from food stamps, healthcare, Medicaid, or robbing our children and their children in terms of financially for our debt, paying off this debt, in order to give a tax break to the wealthiest people in this country. That's just plain unfair. It's like reverse Robin Hood.
Is there anything in the bill that you find favorable?
There are a couple things in there that are good for my district. There are some small benefits for the middle class. Of course, they pale next to anything for the wealthiest. There's some agriculture provisions in there that are good for my district, but they're only in there because they can't get their act together to pass a real bipartisan farm bill, which should have happened last year. And so I will tell you that on the whole, they're like giving pennies and taking away $20 bills plus when it comes to what the middle class is really getting out of this bill. It is going to cost them so much more money. Increased premiums, not having health care, higher copays, and even the people who stay on Medicaid, now they can have a $35 copay. Imagine asking people who are already financially strained to pay $35 every time they go to see a physician or physical therapist.
Is there anything else you want to add?
I want to add for the people in my district, they know that I work with partners in both parties whenever I can for the good of the district. Right now, my job is to fight on their behalf, and that means fighting against this bill. And I will be working hard today with those Republican colleagues to convince them that they answer to their constituents and not to this president.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.